Good morning. So today is the 23rd, November 23rd. We'll have Thanksgiving on Thursday this week. So I think that they gave us Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday for break. I am almost done with all the midterms with the exception of English 145 that everybody else is already graded. Today, hopefully I'll get English 145 graded. I will say, and I will make videos for everyone else specifically for the classrooms, but they have been extraordinary. I have been very pleased with the quality and more importantly, right, the depth of whatever it is that you all turned in, whether it be an essay or a vision board or a presentation. And, you know, I'm so proud and I'm so excited because part of the reason that I do not do any type of restrictions or prerequisites or requirements is because I want you always to produce the best that you can produce because it represents who you are. And so when you are lifted, right, those requirements and you are not required to put in specific, requirements or specific quality, and then for me to receive the best and for me to receive extraordinary work is just very satisfying as a teacher because you have reached the height, which is exactly what I want you to do. I want you to be your best every single day, every single minute of your entire life, no matter who's looking, no matter what the requirements are, and no matter if it is not required of you. That's how you start living a very authentic life, and that's how you start really, nailing and leaving your competition behind. It is because of who you are and what you represent and what it is that you can produce, whether it be as a parent, as a daughter, as a son, as a spouse, as a friend, as a lover, as a student, as a boss, as a leader, whatever it is, people will know you to produce very high quality, outcome, whatever that is. Okay, it's starting to fall. So I really want to commend you, and I am so happy because I just. All of the assignments were Class A. I mean, they were exceptional assignments. And when you come to my class, that's exactly what I expect, okay? And when I was in a school and I was an administrator and I was a principal, my staff was the best that there was. And their quality of work was exceptional. Everyone knew that whoever worked for me was very highly qualified. So it was sort of like a given if they hired them that they would be exceptionally excellent employees and exceptionally very knowledgeable assistants and administrators. And they all came to have very high positions. So I really want to commend you. Yay. I mean, it really says everything about yourselves. And I will, really attune and really speak to every single classroom because they were exceptional. And most importantly, what it really showed me was that, in the end, we're really just about wanting to be the best that we can be and just really wanting to be happy overall in our life and being healthy. So this COVID and this pandemic has really put life into perspective, and it has really created a specific vision about our values and our character. And so I can't be happier really in the end. So very exciting. Okay, so we will have so today's daily attendance, right? I'm thinking maybe not giving you homework because I want you to be chill, and then I know that you're gonna have your midterms. I think they start off next week, I think, or maybe not. I don't know. Or maybe tomorrow. I think they start off tomorrow. Hold on, let me see. I'm so sorry, that was really weird. So midterms start, I have here November 20th. Wait, let me see. So midterms already started, right? And so you have finishing up midterms today and tomorrow. We already finished our midterms and we started last week. So just chill out. We'll recuperate next week, okay? So I'm not going to give you any homework except for tomorrow during daily attendance. We need to have discussion board, and you guys did really good on discussion board for the most part. Remember, I had a student ask, well, Miss, do we have to comment on another person? Yes, I think you have to comment on either 2 or 3 other students within the discussion board, okay? And I want to commend, and I was going to reference this later, but I guess I'm going to reference it right now. I want to commend the discussion board from last week was, what we are grateful for. And really, that was mind-blowing about several things, right? About how open you all were to the discussion. So thank you so much for sharing. There were very personal, sharings and writings that had to do with very deep emotions and very, very vulnerable emotional states that you all have been in or are, and I will reference that not this week but next, but or maybe I'll reference it right now. So I want to commend everybody for really being open and trusting, right, the community and trusting the collective, which is all of us, to be mindful and respectful of where we are at, and really, inspiring us and giving us the motivation within ourselves to be able to get out of those very bad places that sometimes we get in, right? That we have to work very hard to get out. So I want to commend you, and I was so excited, and I, very much look forward to, I'm retired, right? And so even though this, it pays me and it's a really good pay and everything, I really enjoy and I love what I'm doing. And I very much look forward to your work. I very much look forward to the daily discussions and the attendance. And I very much look forward to what you have to say. So it's not like, for me, it's not like a job. It's something like, it's like a passion, right? Which is exactly how life should be. And so I was very moved by your discussion board, and I was very honored that it was such an incredible discussion board. So tomorrow we have a discussion board, and that's going to be your assignment for the week, and I'm not going to give any more homework, right? And then we'll get back on track next week, and it's going to be really heavy duty. You're probably going to have like 2 major assignments or whatever, homework, so get ready for that. But I want you to really chill for this week, because we have Thanksgiving and because we worked hard, right, the last 2 weeks to be able to get to this place. And that really is about life, right? If you work hard and you tend to your stuff that you need to tend to, then you don't have to worry about specific things later on, right? Al mal paso darle prisa, to the bad step, give it swiftness, as Mama says, and then she tells me also, no dejes para mañana lo que puedas hacer hoy. Don't leave for tomorrow what you can accomplish today. So get it done. Yesterday I was really tired, but I thought I could get done another class, and I did. So now I only have 1 more class to grade, and my son will be coming in next week. So not next week, tomorrow. So I'm very, very excited and really want to clear up my calendar to be able to receive him and be able to live, right, and experience each other at this time, right? So very much looking forward to. So anyway, so tomorrow we will have discussion board. I also want to comment that there's some people, not all, that say here, that just tells me that you're not listening and viewing the videos. And what's going to happen is that you get in trouble, right? Because you miss a lot. I know that they're long, and I know sometimes they might be boring to you, although my videos really aren't boring if you really pay attention. So, and this is your lectures. A lot of people complain, oh, I hate online and this and that. Well, this is what you would get in class, with the exception that it wouldn't be a whole, it's not a whole hour. So this is your lectures, and you have to write down, because this is about taking notes, and this is about class. And so when you write here and you just think that it's just a daily attendance, you miss the message, whether it be homework or whether it be spiritual or whether it be, political or whatever the message is for that day, right? And remember that we are creating schemata, which means knowledge. And so we create our knowledge with everything that we intake, and it is building up slowly that knowledge that makes us who we are and creates, the experienced person that we want to be, okay? So make sure that you comment, and make sure that you just don't put here, because that just tells me that you did not hear the message and you did not view the whole video. There's specific questions I always ask, and some people are like, here, miss, this and that. Well, it just, just pisses me off, because that means that you're just, right? I leave enough time where you can reference me back if you don't have time. But I mean, instead of watching Netflix, or you can even hear me and while you're driving either to work or whatever, it's a 10-minute. It's like listening to the radio. So you don't have to see me, but you can hear me. So there's no excuses in the end. And really, life is about showing up. And if there's a lesson in my class, it's about sometimes in life you just have to show up. And if you show up, you're 90% there. Okay. So if you don't show up, how are you supposed to live, right? And how are you supposed to get through whatever it is that you get through? You need to show up, and you need to be present, and you need to acquire knowledge, and you need to be able to hear things and articulate them, and have depth in whatever it is that's being said, to be able to process that. I had for the most part, all of my students really processed all my assignments for midterm, which was the first time that has ever happened. I've had excellent students, but this is the first time that as a collective, like all my students, and they're almost 300, right? I would say just very few, like a handful, just didn't get it, but mostly everybody got it. And one of them was, if you could, for my English classes, right? It was like, if you could be anything or want anything in the world, what is it that you would want? And, there was a lot of depth and a lot of thinking and a lot of processing for such a simple assignment, but in the end, it's not simple. So do you see how my assignments seem like they're so simple, but in the end, they are not. They're very complex. And the reason they are complex is because you have to go within, and you have to, you have to work out the intricacies and the complexities of your being, of what you think and what you believe in and what you feel, in order to truly, truly create whatever it is that I asked you to create of quality. And so that is the gift of you going inward and really reflecting. And part of the reason that we don't do it is because we are not propelled, right? And we are not pushed to think that way. We're not really, that's why my classes are sort of like chill. Like, what is it that you really think? What is it that is what your being is going through, right? Because it is only through acknowledging and understanding ourselves, what our beliefs, what really matters, where we are at this specific time, where we can understand it and be able to modify it. And have the flexibility to be able to alchemize it and propel it forward, the motion, whatever that is, in order to create progress in our life. And this is a life lesson, right? Because we are life learners, right? That will help you for the rest of your life. And that is what my class is about. And that is the gift that I am giving you. And there's some people that just don't understand it, right? I guess I'll just mention this right now. For whatever reason, I went into accidentally rape my teacher, and there's 2 people there that were commented that were very disturbed by me, which was very interesting because it's never been my intention. One of them said I rubbed them the wrong way. The other person said that I was very disorganized. I'm not. We wouldn't be able to do our midterms and our finals the way we do them. You wouldn't be able to make up your classwork with such a immense window to get it done if I give you approvals. And I wouldn't know in the end who you are, and I really do. So I was very hurt by the comments. I was also, one of them says, I rubbed you the wrong way or whatever. And this was back, right, but they're, past. But I'm not here to be liked. I'm here to expand your knowledge, and I'm here to push you to think differently and to think out of the box and to think like you're supposed to think, not like the sheep and not like everybody else thinks, and to view life differently, right? Because my class is different. So you have to be on the ball. You have to be on your toes. And it's not about knowledge, but it's about acknowledging, and it's about learning through the system, and it's about figuring out how you can be better. And that's really what my class is about. You have to view my videos. You have to go in deep. You have to really think. It's not about memorizing whatever it is that I tell you to memorize. It's not about getting the assignment done. It's about truly understanding what the assignments and what it is that you are going through, that you are needing to do. And I cover a lot of curriculum, whether you believe it or not. Okay, so it really is about that. But as one of my students last term said, because I was really hurt, because I'm really sensitive and I'm an empath, believe it or not, although I can be really like heavy duty, right? Because I like deal in heavy duty stuff and whatever with my other businesses. But, she said, Miss, don't worry about those people. And, for people that don't want to succeed and something like that. Like I messed up her whole thing. But the thing was that for me not to put that energy on people that didn't want to be helped and didn't want to succeed. So be mindful, comments are really hurtful, right? And there's a whole saying, and I finally understand it. If you could be right or you can be kind, just be kind. I am here to help you. I'm not necessarily here to be liked. I am very different, right? And in the whole scope of everything, I've gone through thousands and thousands of students, right? Or, in my course of my lifetime, I've, gone through tens of thousands. So, two comments that I saw, really don't matter. And in the end, as I tell you, if you got me, it's because you are ready to hear the message. Those people did not understand the message, right? One of them said, that I did this whole, lecture on Jesus and Christ, and and I remember the lecture, and it was very interesting. And that if you weren't Christian, then then you weren't in my graces. The funny part is that I was raised Catholic, but I've incorporated a lot of spirituality, and I'm sort of a Buddhist as well. So very interesting that they mentioned that. So in the end, be mindful, because people think that they know you, right? And they really don't. And that's really what the comments were about last time that we had in our discussion board. There's a lot of students really going through a really hard time. And, there's a lot of, thoughts of suicide. And I will say this on suicide, okay? Because I feel that I need to really address it. No one and no thing deserves your life, you ending your life at all. It is your responsibility to get through this lifetime as best as you can. And part of the reason that we are in this lifetime is that life is school. School is not life, okay? So it is through life, I believe, that we are souls that live on forever and that we do not die, right? Which is a whole contradiction to Christianity, which that person said that, if you weren't Catholic or whatever, which is just not true at all. But and I believe in reincarnation. So what that means is that we are souls, and you can take whatever you want, right? I'm not imposing anything, but what I believe is that we are souls here, that we come into, life being, right? Like this material, that in order to live this life, in order to acquire schemata, foundation, right? Knowledge, in order to evolve. And that's what we're here for. So I believe that these lifetimes are about, coming to school, right? And living and being able to learn, okay? And should you fail the course, right? Because we fail courses sometimes, then we're going to have to repeat the lesson again because we didn't understand it, which creates another karma and creates another life cycle. So the whole idea about these lives is about breaking free from the old patterns, from the restrictions, from the non-growth that we are set to do here. And it is about going through all this experiencing of life that we have to do in order to evolve and grow. So remember that when you have suicidal thoughts, and remember when you feel like you don't want to live, it is just temporary. And then sometimes you wake up, and sometimes all you need to do is just go walk, and or maybe pick up the phone, right? Maybe somebody's sensing you and they're wanting to reach out and they don't know, and you just don't want to. So allow yourself to be open, to be helped. Ask, whoever you believe in, God, the universe, Buddha, Allah, or yourself, just energy or source, to get you out of that. But it is also your responsibility to be in a very balanced state where you honor yourself and you honor your life and you honor your body. And so, what does that look like? I heard a lot of people saying, Miss, I really want to lose those pounds, and, I'm eating horrendous, and, all this junk food and sugar. That is so bad for your body, and it weighs you down, not only in terms of weight, but it weighs you down in energy. So be the vibration and be the energy that that's happy, that's energetic, or sad, but not suicidal, right? So it is your responsibility to make sure that you tend to your soul, your mind, and your body. That's why in the Eastern cultures, right, medicine is about it's a holistic view. It's not just like the Western society that's just sort of like your physical, right? But the Eastern culture is really about being healthy in mind, spirit, and body, because if your mind and your spirit and your heart are not healthy, well, your body is not, because your body radiates who you are, right? And so if you're not radiating this abundance, this aura, this light, then that means that something's within you, whether it be your mind or your heart or your spirit, that is lacking, or not lacking, we never lack, but possibly that possibly needs some self-nourishing in order to get it. So it is your responsibility to get through this lifetime, and life is precious and beautiful, especially now with the pandemic that we see it. So don't waste it. Don't waste it on people that don't deserve you. Don't waste it on people that don't love you. Don't waste it on people that that just don't get you. That just means that you've outgrown them. Everybody has served their purpose, and you're on to better and bigger and more prosperous and more progressive situations and environments and people that you have so much worked to get there. Okay, so allow the release and don't feel bad. And usually when we feeling bad, we want to commit suicide or whatever, it really is attached to somebody, right? Or something. Don't. There's nothing in this world that deserves your life, because your life is beautiful. And I do tarot readings and dream interpretations and oracle readings. And if you're very Christian, I don't mean to insult you in any way, but I do that this week. I do that. And so I feel that that's another way to help people. And I'm just gifted. I've told you all that I'm psychic. So it is what it is, and I'm not what it is. And so on weekends, I'm at the farmer's market, and there was this young lady that went there. And as I, took on the energy and really, saw, because I'm a clairvoyant, so I can see. I have an ability to see, and sort of into the future, and whether you believe or not. So as I was reading her cards, I knew that she was suicidal, and I said, are you suicidal? And she started crying. It was such a crying session this farmer's market. And so there's so much need for healing, but the only person that can heal you is yourself. So it is your responsibility to heal yourself. So what I told her was that she was such a beautiful girl. She was so young. I mean, she probably wasn't even like 22, but you have your whole life ahead of you. And sometimes we have good days and sometimes we have bad days. Don't allow for a bad day to determine your life. It's just a bad day, right? It's just that doesn't tell you for the rest of your life. And sometimes you have like bad seasons, right? But you get through them, and with the love and self-love and the people that are around you, because you always have support. Even if it's not family, you have support of some sort. And so it's through those people that can get you through, or the prayer or the song, or just try to not necessarily be happy, but be content and in gratitude, right? Once we're in gratitude, and once we see things in a different perspective, and say, well, you know what, I'm not that bad off. I have this, I have that. And then you really start focusing on what you do have instead of what you don't have, then it will give you a whole different perspective and a whole different notion of what life is really about and what life should be enjoyed. And given this holiday season with the Thanksgiving, it really is about focusing on what it is that we have. And and a lot of you said, Miss, I just want my dad to get better, or I want to have a cure for cancer. And so how selfless that you all are at, because that's exactly where we're at this point, where we just want to be healthy, and we just want to sort of ease the pain of the collective of what's going on. So I commend you, because that's exactly what healthcare workers should be, right? Just like teachers, right? We're service industries, and if you go into these careers and these professions, it's because it's from the heart. You don't do it because of money, because you would never survive. All right. So very long video. Didn't intend for it to be this long, but I do get channeled and I give you the message that I received, and apparently there was a lot of messages here. So namaste, and I'll see you tomorrow. Enjoy your day, right? And then finish up your midterms, and I wish you well and the best with your midterms. And chill out, just calm down. It's just a midterm. It's not the end of the world. If you don't pass, then you can, maybe make it up, in other stuff or whatever. And you learn a lot. You learn what you didn't know once you figure out what it is that you got wrong. Okay, so chill out. Don't worry. Much love. Bye. Love and light.